he looked miserable. He looked like he couldn't wait for this fight to end. And I'm not saying that to insult Jack. Far from it. In fact, I'm saying the opposite, because he could have taken the easy way out several times.
19 minutes of control time. I mean, the only other really right now in the top in that welterweight.
How long it was? Was it 19 minutes? Jesus.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev broke him mentally. And that's not to knock JDM. That is to give Islam all his flowers, all the credit in the world. He is unbelievable.
At UFC 322, Islam Makhachev emerged victorious in 2 divisions. The startling reality is that Jack Della, when the cage door closed, Madalena had no chance at all.
I think I thought either JDM somehow really has closed those gaps on the holes that he has to where he's able to step forward and start to do damage, or Islam was going to do what I thought he was going to do. Let's get him down. And when you get some of these guys down, you're able to float. Like we wrestle, we're able to float on these guys. We're able to just kind of be a step ahead of them in them trying to maneuver and create a scramble to get back to their feet. And that's what Islam did. I mean, come on, 19 minutes of control time. I mean, the only other really right now in the top in that welterweight.
How long it was? Was it 19 minutes?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. The only other time I've seen that long right now in that welterweight division with these top guys is I would say my fight versus Buckley.
While supporters may be rejoicing, experts are dissecting JDM's whole strategy, describing it as one of the most perplexing, flat, and terrible title defenses in recent memory. And I'll expose the one error that sealed Jack's doom well before round 1 was even over in precisely 30 seconds.
I love what is, dude, because we're not casuals, Kamaru. Like, we understand what he did. You know what I mean? And particularly to solidify, to become a double champ, to become the 11th double champ in UFC history. What did he do? He started with the striking. He would kick the leg. And then right around that 3-minute mark, boom, he was getting takedowns. If you notice, every single round he did that. He hurt JDM with that leg kick. I mean, JDM was pretty much broken. And I will say something that JDM was doing something wrong. He was getting up at the very end, so he didn't really have a chance to really recover going into that round. If you're on your back, dude, like the whole damn time, just stay there, give yourself that opportunity to maybe start that next round on your feet.
Islam did not just triumph, according to Kamaru Usman's icy clinical assessment. For a whole 90 minutes, he suffocated Jack, neutralizing every effort at a scramble and remaining 2 steps ahead as if he had anticipated every move.
I just was very, very astonished. Islam, I think, looked better than ever. I never saw him breathing hard. At 155, I'll see after he gets in good wrestling scrambles or a guy might get away or something, he'll maybe take a little breath, catch his breath, and go right back into it. This was scary, man. This guy never got tired. I'd look at him after every round. Wasn't even breathing. It was a joke. He's going to be a scary guy at 170. The amount of strength, gas, and experience, technique he has. To me, he's number 1 pound for pound.
With his icy clinical assessment, Kamaru Usman intervenes, stating that Islam did not just prevail. For a whole 90 minutes, he suffocated Jack, thwarting every effort at a scramble and remaining 2 steps ahead as if he had anticipated every move.
It's going to be really, really hard to beat this guy. I don't think I could ever bet against him now, unless it's my little brother Ilya. But other than that, I mean, this guy's just a problem, man. He is so fucking good. And everywhere, his stand-up, he was actually piecing up Jack on the feet. Jack was worried about the takedown. He started chopping that leg. It was a stellar performance. I know a lot of fans said it wasn't the most exciting, this and that. But man, Islam did his job. He did what he's supposed to do. Take the guy down, control him, try to hurt him, try to submit him. It's not really his fault that he's so damn good.
Usman cautions that Islam's style is now driving the sport into a new period of complete dominance, comparing it to his own best performances. If you think it's over the top, wait until you hear which legend claims that casual fans are unaware of what they just saw.
I mean, Islam moving up from 155 to 170, fighting JDM, the champ. Poor JDM, he goes out there, he gets the belt, he wins the belt, and the first title defense is Islam. Fortunate for me, I win the belt. They gave me Cheeto. Woo! We got the game wrapped up on our finger there, fellas.
After applauding Islam for being the 11th double champion in UFC history, Henry Cejudo reminds everyone that his leg kicks and takedowns weren't accidental. They were round-by-round demolition strategy intended to shorten Jack's recuperation period, base, and lungs.
The Russians seem like just funny, cool motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They're dominating
Strict.
UFC right now. They're very strict, disciplined, and they're dominating right now. And love it or hate it, it's what it is. It is what it is, man. Khabib, I wish we could have seen more of him. Like I feel like him moving up to 170, being champ, like his career deserved that.
Jack made a rookie error, according to Cejudo, by getting up at the conclusion of rounds rather than lying down to recuperate. I'll explain why that little detail became a snowball that demolished his entire petrol tank in a moment.
But I think for the most part, it was just the fact that he couldn't do anything. He was getting taken down. He was getting controlled. He did do a good job of not giving up. Okay, because listen, Islam is a tremendous fighter. Okay, he's got a record now of 28-1. He now ties Anderson Silva for a 16-fight win streak. I still think Anderson's was more impressive because 12 of those 16 fights were title fights, and that is more impressive. And of course, we saw some wild knockouts from Anderson Silva, but still, I'm not taking away from Islam Makhachev. What he's achieved is unbelievable. He's a two-weight division champion. Anderson Silva didn't do that, and he has won 16 in a row. Okay, so take a bow. Unbelievable.
Islam seemed unstoppable, unconcerned, and built from something else with strength, stamina, and technique that makes him a menace at 170 pounds, according to Jorge Masvidal, who steps in and calls him the #1 monster by weight.
Jack got a little bit too confident. He tried to go for a whizzer kick or a hip throw. Tried to go for a hip throw on Islam Makhachev. What are you doing? You don't do that. He shouldn't be trying to grapple with Islam at all. But of course, he had success against other grapplers in the past. Against Bilal Muhammad, he was able to have some success in the grappling transitions. But of course, Islam Makhachev is the next level. Okay, so he made a big mistake there in trying to go for his own throw. Ended up back on the ground. And then in rounds 3, 4, and 5, Islam just timed them perfectly. There was almost no resistance.
Masvidal reveals that his friend Iliotopia is the only man alive who has any chance of defeating Islam. Later in the film, I'll explain why that forecast might be the most hazardous matchup for Islam.
But there was a lot of resistance on the face of Jack, right? He looked miserable. He looked like he couldn't wait for this fight to win. And I'm not saying that to insult Jack. Far from it. In fact, I'm saying the opposite, because he could have taken the easy way out several times. Islam was trying to finish him. He was trying to get Kimuras. He was trying to get straight arm hooks. He was trying to get the doors multiple times that he's got many other great fighters with. And he was trying to get rear naked chokes, okay? And Jack was tired. Jack was deflated. He was dejected. He was beaten, and he knew it was. He knew he was. And all he could have done was just extend his arm. All he could have done was not resist, okay? But the man was still fighting. He was still trying to get back to his feet. His coach is giving him a hard time in the corner. They're all frustrated with him because, of course, they just want the best for him, but it wasn't meant to be, okay? Islam dominated the fight. It was one-way traffic. It was pretty easy. I don't know if Jack even landed a clean.
In response to JDM's championship defense, Sean Ali acknowledges that the fight was hard from the beginning, drawing comparisons to his own first defense against Chito Vera, and joked that he was fortunate to run into a heavyweight posing as a lightweight.
Islam went straight for the calf kick within the first minute, straight for the calf kick, started doing some real damage to that leg early on. Obviously, and obviously the wrestling was always going to be a big factor in this fight. Yeah. Islam does what Islam does. But I think the leg attacks just took Jack's foundation away. You know, his grounding in that tight-knit boxing that he likes to use. It affected not only his movement when he was striking, but his defense, his backing up against cage, his sprawl ability, all of it. Not to say though, Islam's timing was just
perfect.
Sensational. Perfect. Sensational.
Ali goes one step farther and asserts that Russian fighters are dominating the UFC with organization and discipline. He says he wishes Khabib had more time since he should have gone champion too, but no one else is matching.
I think Islam pressure's crazy,
Yeah.
I think it is all the hype, it's built up to be. It is just next level, much like Chimaev. They're just sticky fellas.
Yeah, man.
And you just mentioned it, like how much slower he looked in that third round. Every time Islam would take Jack down, Jack was just getting gassed defending the submission attempts, trying to move him off him. And then when they got back to their feet or started the round again, his jabs just didn't have the pop and crispness that they needed to have. Whereas Islam looked much the same.
Michael Bisping analyzes the bout with surgical precision, describing how Islam's control, takedowns, and smothering pace consumed Jack Della Maddalena. He also points out that Islam's 281 record and 16 fight streak now tie Anderson Silva's epic run.
Is there any chance that Ilia Topuria goes up to welterweight and fights Islam Makhachev for the third belt?
Goes up 2 weight divisions.
He's talked about it.
So I thought like Islam might do that. I feel like he might have the size to do that. But
wait, to go to middleweight?
Maybe.
He could.
No, wrestlers, they're a different breed, those guys.
Can you imagine Islam Makhachev versus Khamzat Chimaev? That would feed generations. That's crazy.
That would be huge. And then you put it in like Abu Dhabi. Like, it'd be wild. Everyone's winning that from that card.
While Silva had dramatic knockouts, Bisping reminds spectators that Islam's quiet dominance and 2-division standing are creating a legacy that may outlast the Spiders. And I'll tell you the precise moment Jack lost his mind during this battle in a few minutes.
Islam's smart enough to know that's probably the only, at 185, he could probably beat most guys. Probably could do that to most guys. Hamza is just a bigger version of Islam. Like, there's just, that would be sick to watch. That'd actually be a fucking fun grappling fight. I'd love to see that.
Is Islam's legacy greater than Khabib's legacy?
Yes. Just out of pure merit, 100%. Title defense is a two weight division thing, but it's ironic, bro. If they were to fight, Khabib would beat him.
and the crazy
he said it, and he said it himself. Like, dude, if I was to fight the dude, he'd beat me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all hypothetical, right?
Bisping goes on to highlight Jack's crucial mistake when he attempted a showy hip throw on Islam, claiming that his overconfidence burned him alive since Islam quickly regained control and made rounds 3, 4, and 5 all one way.
He is just so strong. He is so good. He is so dominant. He is so talented. And now he becomes just the 11th fighter in UFC history to win a belt in 2 different weight classes. He is also the man who has just won his 16th fight in a row, and in doing so ties the great Anderson Silva for the longest winning streak in UFC history. So all kinds of history made tonight at Madison Square Garden. He is the pound for pound best in the world. There is no denying that, and is slowly but surely going down as one of the greatest ever. And in my opinion, has put his mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, with this victory very much in the rearview mirror. He has surpassed him. If he had not done so already, Islam Makhachev is that guy, and now the welterweights.
Yeah, all hypothetical. But for me, I don't know if I could answer that because what Khabib was able to do for the sport and for the Muslim. Obviously there were Muslims in the sport before Khabib, but what he was able to do as far as putting that on his back, I think was remarkable. So and then the way Khabib was disposing of his guys. So it was, man, it's tough to say, but I do think Islam Makhachev is right now is up there.
With nearly no clean offense landing, Jack appeared depressed, hopeless, and lost in a nightmare from which he was unable to awaken. Meanwhile, Islam pursued concessions, controlled every space, and had Jack's corner beg him to continue. Islam's calf kicks weren't only successful, according to Robert Whitaker. Before the fight even started, they destroyed Jack's mobility, striking angles, and defensive reactions in less than a minute.
I'm not here to glaze in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but I say it's the most competitive because when I look at a guy like Islam, I don't really see holes like that. And that's something that scares me, that causes that heartbeat to go up. And that's where you see some of the most spectacular performance. Because the last time I felt that like that was Kobe Covington won. And that's when I was like, yo, you got a guy that can wrestle just as good as you, a guy that can grapple just as good, a guy that can maybe not strike it, but a guy that can strike just as well. You have a guy that's good at all these things, how do you get that victory? And that's where you live. That's where you get that, you know, your spirit just is in there to just fight it out. And so I would say yes, if you're talking about which fight right now is probably the most competitive. And listen, Islam is great. It's great. Especially what he did last night. Islam is great. You can't take anything away from him.